Right, today we're going to be talking about how to register your company in the UK. So you have been doing your business online and you think it's time for you to make it really legit, really legal, and you want to register it. But you are so put off by the information you get or by people asking you for money to help you register, asking you for some exorbitant fees. Let me show you. You can do it by yourself. You don't need to have someone register your company for you, really. And I'm going to walk you through how to do that in this tutorial. So let's get into it. All you need to do is to go to this website, gov.uk/limited company formation, register your company. And when you get there, you scroll down to where it says register now. It costs you £50 and can be paid by direct or credit cards. Your company is usually registered within 24 hours. You see, that's just it. Okay, so you click on register now. Are you starting a new application? Yes, of course. And you go continue. However, before we do this, I'm just going to click on back to show you something. There's something I normally do before I set up my companies, and that is to check whether the name is eligible, like whether the name can be registered or whether the name has been taken. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So this is the website you need to go to check your company name first before you go on to register. So it's the .gov.uk limited company formation / choose company name. So you click on this, it says check the company's house register. And then it gives you a search bar to look for the name that you want to register. So let's say I have typed in, and then I search. And it says no exact company name matches found for Newcams. So this name can be registered because there is no match for it. And then I click here, register a limited company. So it takes me to where we were before. And this is, you register the company. Click on register now. Are you starting a new application? Yes. You continue that. Check before you start, continue to questions. So these are the things you need to check before you start, so that they're going to ask you some questions and your answers will show whether you can use the service to register a limited company and set up corporate and tax, or you need to take another service if you're not eligible to use this one. So click on continue. Are you able to pay for this application using a card or PayPal? Yes. Continue. Are any directors or persons with significant control on the company's house secure register? I'm going to say no. So what that means is whether the person with significant control of the company, and that means that the person who actually controls the company. So if that is the owner of the company and that has a larger percentage of the shares, if you're forming a limited company by shares, and if it's just you, so you are the person. If it's two of you, one person will have a significant control over the other person, and that person will be the person who is able to bring in directors or eliminate directors. And in this case, I'm going to say no because I'm not on the list. So you go on to say continue. You will now create a gateway user ID for this company. Every company has a gateway user ID. That's what you're going to use to log into HMRC further down the line when you begin to do, some other operations within your organizations. For example, submitting your corporation tax. If you go on to do PAYE, which is you have employees and then you're paying them salaries and all of those things, you will be using your gateway user ID to get into HMRC portal. So you'll do that. Whether you need it for now or not, you still have to have it. So I'm going to just put in email address here, continue, confirm your email address, which means that they have sent you a code, and that code you are going to put that in the space there. So let's get the code out. Confirm, continue. What's your full name? You add your full name there. Then you create a password for this. Okay, so that's that created. You need to keep that, but it may also be sent to you via email. Okay, so you need to set up additional security. I'll choose text message. And then, are you adding a UK mobile number? Yes, I am. And I'm just going to add a UK mobile number. And then they send the access to the number. Okay, now you go on. With that, you have added the security, extra security layer there. You're using the same email address. Go on. What is your relationship to the company? At this time, it's the director. So will the company be a community interest company? No. Save. Limited by shares. And that's a core commercial company. That's just the difference. There are CICs, I have CICs, depends on what you want to use the company for, really. Okay, so let's give it a name, Nucam. And then we'll save and continue. The registered email for this company is going to be the one that I have used to open, to start the registration. Confirm and go. Okay, so we're going to have to give them some postcodes. So it's telling you here that if you want to use, what's the company's registered address? Okay, you can use your home, or you can use a registered address. Say if you have an office address or a purchased registered office, where you can receive your mails from company's house and all of that, you can use that. So it's just giving you a warning. If you do want to use your home address, it will be publicly available on the company's house, online. So for me, I'm just going to use a different postcode. Okay, and then you save and continue. And then it gives you your address. Okay. And that's your registered address where you're going to be getting all your letters from the company's house and HMRC. Okay, so where will the company be registered? England, Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales. I live in England, so it's going to be England for me. Okay, and what is the company's principal place of business? The address that I have given. And if for you it's just a registered address and you don't have an office there, or you don't have somewhere that you work there, you can use this. If you are someone who works from home, just leave the office address there because you don't need it anyway. All you need to do is collect your correspondence from the place, so you don't need to give them any different address. Okay, give us one or more ways to contact Nucam Limited. So we've given them one way, that's it. If you want to add your phone number, free to do that, but I'm just going to leave the email address because that's good enough. Okay. And note that mostly companies house, HMRC, they send you letters rather than sending you email communications or even telephone calls. They are mostly sending you letters. Sometimes they can call, but most of the time is sending you letters, and then they expect that you call back if it's a query or anything that they want to discuss with you. So is the new company replacing another company? No, it's a company by itself. When will the company start trading? I'm going to say on the same date it gets set up. So you have options of maybe a future date, say in about 3 months' time, or you just want to register it, you don't know what you want to do. You've got all the options there. And then you click on your option and do save and continue. In its first 3 months, will your company be doing any of these? Will your company be paying interest on any non-bank loans? For example, to a director who has loaned the company money, if you're going to be making royalty payments, if you're going to be receiving interest or dividend payments from overseas investments. No, we're not. And then we go. What will the company be doing? So this is asking you for your SIC code, and what you want to do is you're going to find, so when you type something here, it's going to give you options. So I've typed that to give me option of business support services. So business support services, other business support services activities, not. If you have specifics, just put it down. It's going to give you a list. Type three letters of the type of business, and it gives you a whole list, and then you can choose from the list. Okay, so has anyone in this application ever sent a secure register form to ask companies, ask for protection? No. Save and continue. Director's details. Here you're going to give your details as the director. And once you give your details as the director, you will then move on. And then they're going to ask for your correspondence address. So if you want, you can use the address you've registered already, the company registered address, or your different address for your correspondence address. And now they're going to ask for your home address. So here, your home address will not be publicly displayed. As you can see, this address will not be publicly displayed online unless it is used for company's registered office address. Okay, so you are safe to give them your home address and then click and go. Does Mutita Debowale want to receive filing reminders by email? Yes. And then you click on that and you confirm the email address that you want them to send you filing reminders to. Do you want to add another director? No, not at this point. And then you save and you continue. Okay, so you then see all of the information you've given them, and then you confirm, and then you save and continue. At that point, you are about to set up online filing authorization for the company. Digital authorization is quick, paperless, and secure. And then if you want to, you'll continue to say, yes, you want to do that. Do you want the directors to be digitally authorized to file online for the company? Yes. Confirm which of the directors. Since we have just one director, we're going to be choosing that. Save and continue. Does Mutita Debowale have an existing Companies House web filing account? So I'm going to say no, and then continue. And for that reason, which email address do you want to use to create your web filing? I'm going to say this one, and then that's it. So you have all of your details, and then you save and you continue. About to set up your company's shareholders. Okay, so here they're going to ask you who are the shareholders for the company and how many shares belong to them. Confirm the shareholders and the shares that you've created for them. So shareholder, yes. And then you continue. Would you like to add another shareholder? If you do, you can add a shareholder without them being a director. So if you want to, like, you want to add maybe one of your children or your spouse, your partner, or friend, or business partner, whatever, as a shareholder, you can do that. At this point, I'm going to say no and continue. Okay, and that's it. You confirm the details of the shareholder and you continue. Do you want to use the most common type of shares? Yes, we're just using ordinary shares. And then you continue. How many shares does Mutieta Debowale? Since she's the only shareholder, you own the 100%, and that is 1. Okay, so save. Choose a value for each share. So we're choosing £1, and then we're saving. Okay, and that is what you're going to use when you begin to file your accounts. And then you confirm the company shares and continue. You're about to set up the person with significant control. The person with significant control, as we said, is that person who has the utmost control in the company. Okay. Or somebody that has more than 25% of the shares and voting rights, or has the right to appoint or remove directors, or has the right to make decisions or influence decisions that affect the company. So, yes. And then from your previous answers, we know that this company has just 1 person, and then they'll continue. This is the right to be involved in making decisions to appoint or remove directors, either with or alone. And we'll continue. Okay. So check and confirm details whether it's correct, and then you save. You have to confirm, and then you save. Okay. Do you want to use the model of articles? Yes. I think I've used that, for all of the companies that I've done, and they've all served me well. Then you say yes. I confirm that the persons named here agreed to form the company. I confirm that the persons named here wish to form the company for love purposes. And the thing is, they're still going to send you confirmation for you to know by post, for you to know that you've been registered. So if somebody uses your name to register a company that you didn't know, except of course if they didn't use your address, but if they do, then you will get that confirmation in the post as well. Okay, so now you need to set up your pieces of personal information and check and confirm your answers. Once you do that, check and confirm your answers again. And then you declare that you understand that these registrations can be changed after you proceed, because it cannot be changed. Okay, so you are about to make a secure £50, and that is the final process. Once you make the payment, that is it. You have completed your registration of your company. And the next thing is you're going to get a confirmation email to say that your company has been registered.